Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Off-Farm Income Podcast. Hey, thank you so much for joining us here on our YouTube channel for episode number 1073. Well, today we are taking you back down to the Central Valley of California, and we're going to be talking horses. We're going to be talking running large-scale events and the stress and the energy that goes into that, and some really, really interesting horsemanship and choreographed events, all in the form of an SAE on a family ranch in Madera, California. I'm going to be interviewing Moreila Vieyra Santana. She's coming to us from Madera High School, their FFA chapter, and has quite a visual for us today. We're going to get that started for you right now. Moreila, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, it is my pleasure. I am looking forward to speaking with you and finding out about your supervised agricultural experience. I'll tell you what, I always love to start out by just asking a few questions about you so the audience can kind of get to know you and stuff like that. Would that be all right with you if we did it that way?
Yeah, that is fine.
Okay. Well, so where are you right now?
I am from Madera, California, in the Central Valley, San Joaquin.
Okay. And are you at home right now or are you at school?
I am at home right now.
You're at home. Okay. So what's home like? Is home in town, or is it out on a farm, or is it something like maybe in the middle of those two?
Home is in a ranch right here. It's a small horse ranch with like 20 acres.
Okay. Oh, very cool. And so you are, what side of Madera are you on?
It's a small little town, so I think everybody is very close by.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is I'm trying to picture where you're at. You've got 20 acres, and I know Highway 99 runs right through Madera, right?
Yeah, so we're right next to it.
Oh, right next to it. Okay. Very interesting. So I grew up, just to give you a little background on me, I grew up north of Modesto, and I had family in Sanger, just outside of Fresno. So whenever we made that drive, we went through Madera every single time. And the caveat for the long drive for me was my mom would always let us stop and get something to eat at Bob's Big Boy in Madera. That was like the only one that was in the Central Valley. Is that place still there?
I do not know of a Big Bob, but it might be still there.
Okay, it's not still there. If it was, you would know what it is. There's like a statue of a like a kid holding a burger up. They were the best burgers I've ever had in my
I
life.
don't think it is then.
All right, very good. Well, that's just me reminiscing more. Anytime I have anybody on who lives in the Valley, Morelia, I always have to reminisce about my time living there. I live in Idaho now, but grew up there, and lots of trips up and down through Madera during my lifetime. So, okay, so you are, let's see, you're in your sophomore year of high school?
Yeah, sophomore year.
Okay, how long have you been part of the FFA now?
So I've been in part of FFA since freshman year, so it'll be 2 years from this year.
Okay, very good. So you're just getting ready to wrap up your second year in the FFA. And why did you join the FFA? What brought you in?
I've always been interested in what it was being like involved, but seeing that how FFA had an opportunity to learn more about animals, I saw that side of FFA. But then again, as I went in my freshman year, I was able to see that FFA had lots of leadership opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
and that really intrigued me. So I was able to sign up as like green hand officer, and I got the position. And ever since that, I just really like learning more about how to grow myself as an individual,
Yeah.
and then now being able to inspire others to take the same steps and create their own journey in FFA.
Man, that's great. This is very interesting to me because I always find myself comparing my guests to me when I was your age. So you talked about as you were a freshman in high school, you're coming to the FFA and you're intrigued by leadership opportunities. That was so not me when I was starting high school. I would have never thought about that. What is it about leadership and learning about leadership and becoming a leader that, I mean, where'd you even learn to care about that? How did that come to you?
I guess it comes from a young age, having parents who are very focused in their job and determined in it. They gave me like that determination, and I just always wanted to be successful. And seeing how there was an opportunity for me to learn so many new things, I was intrigued as, oh, what makes a leader? And I'm like, I want to be a leader one day. So taking in that extra step, the extra mile, really intrigued
Hmm.
me as of becoming a leader. And I'm growing as an individual every day, and it's like learning new things really inspires me.
That is great. And now you're serving as your chapter's reporter?
Yeah, I'm serving as chapter reporter, and it's a very amazing job. I'm learning something new.
What do you do? What do you like about it?
So I like how I'm interacting with people through our virtual platform. I create flyers. We actually started our own podcast as well,
Nice.
and it's a learning journey. And I also make newsletters and inform the community about our organization, our chapter. And it's just something that really brought my attention, and I would love to keep doing.
That is great. What is your guys' podcast about? Who do you interview, or what do you talk about? What's it look like or sound like, I should say?
Well, it's called Sit with Madera FFA, and our main goal of our podcast is to like interview FFA members in our chapter or outside of our chapter
Mm-hmm.
and highlight their stories so that all the people who listen to their stories can be able to relate to them in a way and know that they're not alone and just like spread the awareness of like um our chapter.
That's great. Are you the host?
Yeah, I am the host with two other of my classmates,
Okay.
and we interview like different people in each episode.
That is awesome. Give us the name of it one more time.
It's Sit with Madera FFA.
Sit with Madera FFA.
Yeah, and you
That's
can
great.
find it on our Instagram at Madera_FFA.
That's great. Good for you. How many episodes have you guys done?
So far we have done 3, and it's a learning experience. We're
Yeah,
learning something new as we go with our podcast, but something that I love doing.
it definitely is a learning experience. I can remember my first 3 and sitting in my studio alone recording, being embarrassed. And there's nobody even hearing it other than me. But I can
Mm.
remember how that felt. So good for you. That's really, really exciting. Now, let me ask you about your place a little bit more. So 20 acres there, right adjacent to Highway 99 in Madera. And what is it, irrigated ground? Is it dry ground? And what do you guys do with that land?
So 10 acres are used as pasture for like our horses.
Okay.
Um, Before, when we used to do our events, we use that as parking lot
Okay.
for events, but now we use it for pasture, and on the other part of the acres, we have our big barn, where our barn has about 40 stables that we board horses in,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, and it's in the other parts of our land, we also have, outside pens,
Okay.
and it's scattered, like, different, like, facilities for the horses to use, like a round pen,
Mm-hmm.
a walker, somewhere, like, for them to walk in a long distance, but
Okay.
just small area for horses.
Got it. What when you say or you're referring to events you used to have, what kind of events did you have?
Yeah, so as a young age, I was involved in my family with, race horses.
Okay.
We used to race horses, but lately in the years past and now, we now focus on charrerías. These charrerías are equestrian events where we host, dancing competitions for horses,
Mm-hmm.
and where people, like, all over the valley come to showcase their horses, and then we announce the winner in the end of these events.
Then
It's just
so
a way to bring our family together.
and that's the dancing horses. That's
Yeah.
really a beautiful event. I've got a good friend I grew up with in Valley Home, California, which is north of Oakdale, which is north of Modesto. To try and give you a frame of reference, his name is Lupe Rubio, and he puts videos up on Facebook all the time. He does that, and they've always got videos of him doing that. And I had no idea. Matter of fact, when we were kids, I don't think that he was involved in that, but I'm not sure. I don't know when he got involved in that, but really, really small town. It's cool to see him representing our small town and doing that. It's really, really interesting stuff. So
Yeah.
that's fascinating. Really, really cool. Good for you. Well, that is very exciting and fun to hear about. Let's do this. I would love to acknowledge your FFA advisors. We always do that on the show, Morelia, and just kind of shout out their names. So because they do so much for our FFA students, all of our ag teachers. Now at Madera, you've got a bunch. So if you, it'll take a second, but if you wouldn't mind, do you mind mentioning them?
Yeah, so we have some of the advisors that I've had was been Miss Sheehan, Ms. Bianchi, Ms. Loera, and Ms. Luxon. But we also do have many more other advisors. But I would say that Ms. Luxon and Ms. Loera have really helped me out a lot, and they've been there for me a lot of these times. And they're really great advisors. All of them in here in Madera Ffa chapter, like, really encourage their students to become more than they are, and we really appreciate them.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for mentioning them. Let's talk about your supervised agricultural experience. So I've got it written down here as Rancho Alegre Stables and Arena. So is that the family property and what you're doing there with the horse boarding and things like that?
Yes, so it's all in the same ranch. I started off with Rancho Alegre Stables, my first year, and I'm continuing it still. As long as I can remember, I've been a part of that business. But now lately, as I've grown, I've learned to want to be a part of it. And these stables um we rent out and board to people in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I do simple tasks as of cleaning stalls, applying blankets or saddling horses up for people, braiding, grooming horses. But then I've learned to work with these horses as one on one and train them, being able to train them alongside my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And some tasks that I've grown up to like do are lunging them and warming them up before each exercise. Because I remember as a child, I started off as feeding them just water, and now seeing that now I'm able to work with a horse is a big step, and I'm really liking that I'm learning something new every day with this SAE.
So it sounds to me like your responsibilities over time as you've kind of gotten older, you've gotten more and more responsibilities every year.
Yeah, and it's something that I really like. And then now that I saw that I could have so much SAEs in my ranch, I've also created one of outdoor recreation.
Okay.
Um, this outdoor recreation means that we have created events in our ranch, and these are the charrerías I was talking about. Here is like a family friendly event for people to come in the summer over to our ranch, and we host these competitions of dancing horses, but we also have live music. And along this live music, we have roping bulls and escaramuzas. Escaramuzas are these young ladies who ride side saddle on their horses
Mm,
and have their choreography like as shown to the people. So it's just a way to bring all the people together in our Central Valley.
that's great. So, the young ladies who are riding side saddle, they're riding in a choreographed manner.
Yes, in a choreographed manner.
Very interesting. Okay. Now, for you with your supervised agricultural experience, is this done as a placement SAE or as an entrepreneurship SAE?
This is done as a entre placement SAE because I'm working alongside with my family,
Uh huh.
and alongside working with them, I go out into the business side of this um project. So I take care of paperwork, filing for permits, and going out to
Mm,
the community and asking them if they would like to be our sponsors for this event and communicating with them and letting them know what's going on.
that's great. Are you seeing, with you guys running a boarding facility and having these events and doing this outdoor recreation and all of that? I mean, you've really got your finger on the pulse of what's going on there in the Central Valley and with horsemanship. Are you
Yes.
seeing it growing? Are more people getting interested in this? Is this something that is changing? Is it staying the same as you've always known? What's it look like to you?
Well, as the years have gone by, I've seen that there's more interest into what it is, or charrerías, because when I was young, my parents started off with the racetrack, with the small racetrack. It was just small. And now seeing that the years have developed, we are now interested in what it is charrerías, dancing horse competitions. So the interest in that has really grown over the years, which is why we're focusing on that because that is what the people want.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is a good way to bring everybody together. But yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting. Okay, so you've been doing this for 2 years now. Have you been doing the outdoor recreation part of your SAE for both years?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So you're about halfway done with high school. How do you see this growing or changing over the next 2 years?
For my stables SAE, I want to be able to train a horse by myself.
Mm,
That is the main goal I have for that project. For my outdoor recreation, I see myself improving our events and what it is, more people, and what we offer as an event, have different other stuff for people to entertain themselves. So I just see myself in growing as an individual and growing my family's business.
Absolutely. And when you guys do these events, obviously you've got people, I'm assuming they're paying an entry fee to come and be part of it. Um, you correct me if I'm wrong on that, but do you have people that are paying an entry fee to come and be spectators and just watch?
Yes, so we have an entry fee for people to come watch, and then we also have an entry fee for the people competing in these competitions. And it's just a way for the people, the spectators, to be able to also enjoy what the contestants are doing.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm assuming, well, I don't know. I'll ask you. The events sound like a lot of fun. Certainly, I'm sure they are for the participants and the spectators. But for you who are working behind the scenes, do you get to enjoy them, or is it just so busy and so stressful that you're just running the whole time?
No, I don't think as if we work in this event, we don't enjoy it, but we focus more on running it, and
Sure.
there is no time to enjoy what we have. Because we're always so busy of making sure that everything is right,
Hmm.
not perfect, but right, because anywhere there could be a mishap and then something happens.
Sure.
So we wanna make sure that our spectators are happy, our participants are happy, and everybody enjoying our event is happy. So that is the main goal, and also our staff.
Yeah. And as I was saying that, I thought the same thing. You're going to put your enjoyment aside for the minute to make sure everybody else is having a good time because that's the service that you're providing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So being exposed to running a business like this, what thoughts does it give you for the future? Are you interested in being a business person, running your own business, or maybe even coming back and running this one? Tell me about that.
It does interest me coming back to running this family business because since I'm more aware of what's going on, I know that alongside my siblings and I, we can improve it.
Hmm.
Um, Knowing how it works inside and out, there are major improvements that can be made, and with our help, that can be possible. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, how many siblings do you have?
So I have two, a brother and a sister.
And they're both as interested in this as you are?
I'm a little more interested, but yeah, they are very interested.
But you guys have looked at it and said, wow, what we could do this, or we could add that, or we could put this event on too, or something like that.
Yeah, it's something that as more that we look at it, there's always something that we can add to make it better.
That's really cool. That's very, very exciting. So now, will you have the opportunity when you're done with high school? Or I should ask you what your plans are when you do finish with high school. Is it straight into the family business? Do you want to continue getting an education? You want to go to the military or something like that? What are your thoughts?
After high school, I really want to continue my education. Somewhere that revolves around training horses, maybe somewhere around equine science. It's just I really like the horses aspect, and it's something that's always intrigued me. So continuing that is something that I'm interested in.
Awesome. Have you looked into any schools that offer that yet?
Um, Not as of right now, but I am looking in Fresno State and UC Davis.
Okay.
They really caught my attention.
Yeah, very good ag schools right there in the valley. Interesting stuff. Okay. And then after that, when you finish with that, you're thinking you'd like to come back.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I got my education done, I feel like coming back to the family business would be a right decision.
Ah, that's great. That's really exciting. I'm very excited for you, Morelia.
Mhm.
Very fun. Well, I'd love to ask your advice. You talked about leadership right at the outset of this interview. Let me ask you about that before we wrap this up today. So, when students are coming into the FFA, if it was me, I'd probably come in and I'd want to keep my head down, be quiet, and just try and fit in. You came in and you're like, no, I want to get involved. I want to be involved in leadership. I want to, grow myself and things like that. Why should a student coming in get involved and dive in headfirst that quickly like you did?
I feel like risking it and taking a challenge really, grows you as a person, and diving in like that may be able to grow you as a person, like how I said. Maybe you're learning something new that you didn't think that you would be interested in, right? FFA has so many opportunities for you to take, whether it's on the animal side, the public speaking side, or your SAE projects. I know that anybody who puts their mind to it and who works from their point of strength can be able to be successful.
Awesome. Really, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much for being here, everybody. And thank you to Moreila Vieyra Santana for coming on the Off Farm Income Podcast and sharing that great information with us today. And hey, we would love to have you click that subscribe button down below and become a subscriber here on our YouTube channel. And we'd love to connect with you on social media as well. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, everybody. And until next time, enjoy your journey to the ultimate lifestyle business, agriculture.